My name is Jayamae. We're here at Lightfoot Horse Farm, which is my ranch. I am a trainer here, horsemanship instructor, and I'm also an endurance rider, 3-time Tevis finisher, and I serve on the Tevis Board of Governors. Crewing for the Tevis. I think crewing for the Tevis is a pretty unique and remarkable experience. I have crewed for Tevis many times. I've ridden it more times than I've crewed, however, and I am very particular about my crew. I want people that I know are organized, that know something about horses, but they don't necessarily have to be a horse person, because I have my crew separated. Usually I will have 3 to 4 people on my crew. One person is assigned to me, meaning they take care of what I need. Sunscreen, filling my water bottles and my saddlebags, making sure I'm eating, making sure I'm drinking, making sure I'm taking Tylenol if I need it, or ibuprofen. So I have someone assigned just to me, and then the other 2 or 3 people are assigned specifically to the horse. My philosophy is that if I'm organized, my crew is going to be organized. So when I'm packing for the Tevis, I have separate crew bags. One goes to Robinson Flat, and I actually label it Robinson Flat. I will put a label on it with my name and then tag it Robinson Flat, so my crew knows that's what goes to Robinson Flat. One thing that always goes to Robinson Flat is the cart, a collapsible cart that they can open up and put tack in, because there is a little bit of a trek. I don't have my horse trailer at Robinson Flat because no trailers are allowed there. So it's nice to have the cart to put stuff in. My other crew bag will be labeled Forest Hill, and that crew bag stays in my horse trailer, which will go to Forest Hill Vet Check. The other thing I like to do is have a card, which actually I will give to all of my crew members before the ride. I host a crew meeting and dinner. I spoil my crew with a homemade dinner, and then we have this fun meeting afterwards. And I go over everything that's on my crew card. What I put on here are directions to all the vet checks, and then specific jobs. The thing with a crew is every single person has to have a job. If they don't have a job, then nobody knows what to do, or 2 people are trying to do one job when you only need one person to do that job. So I will have the person's name and then exactly what they're assigned to, whether it's pulling tack, sponging the horse, feeding the horse, taking care of the rider, whatever. The other thing I do to keep everything really organized is I also put a card on each crew bag which specifies what is in the crew bag. That way my crew knows, if they're looking for something, where to find it, which crew bag it's going to be in if I have more than one going to one vet check. The essentials in my Robinson Flat crew bag: electrolytes for sure, electrolytes for the horses. I also have electrolytes for myself in here. Sponge. Extra buckets always go so that you can sponge your horse, and then also have water for the horse's mash. I always have extra hoof boots, because gosh forbid I should throw a glue-on boot on the trail. I will need to put another hoof boot on. So I have a rubber mallet, and I also have vet wrap to replace my hoof boot if I need to. I always carry an extra halter and lead rope. Things for the rider: sunscreen, Tylenol, ibuprofen, your best friend on a 100-mile ride, anti-monkey butt powder. Love that stuff. I also have either a rump rug or a full cooler. A lot of times I'll have the crew bring both. If it's warm at Robinson Flat, like if it's unseasonably warm, then I'll just use the rump rug. If it's cooler at Robinson Flat, which sometimes it is, then we'll put the full cooler on the horse. That's basically my essentials for Robinson Flat. Oh, and of course, you can't forget the apples or the carrots. Horse treats are an essential. And then I always have little snacks for the rider too, to refill my saddlebags at Robinson Flat. At Forest Hill, because we're going to be going out in the dark, my essentials at Forest Hill actually are a change of clothes. For 2 reasons. One, I'm going out in the dark, and so I want to have light clothing on so that other riders can see me as they're approaching me on the trail. And then also my crew can see me as I come into the finish line. So usually light colored riding pants, May Babes Equestrian, my favorite, absolute favorite riding tights. And then also white shirt. I always ride to the finish line in a white shirt. And I don't ride with a light at Tevis, but I always carry a headlamp with me in case of an emergency. So I have my crew either duct tape this to my helmet, or I can stick it in a pocket. But I make sure that I have my headlamp. And then the other thing at Forest Hill, because I always jump into the American River at the bottom of Devil's Thumb Canyon, I always bring extra socks and then extra shoes for Forest Hill too. The other thing that I do at Forest Hill, which is absolutely, I think, a godsend, every rider should do this if they have time. I don't have a fancy living quarters horse trailer. I'm kind of old school and rough it, but I have my crew fill up my sun shower and hang it in the back of my horse trailer. This is super refreshing when I've ridden 68 miles and I'm getting sore and tired. Just quick rinse off, change my clothes, and then I head out to the finish line. So that's all my essentials, basically.